Hey everyone, Bear here. So I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving weekend. I enjoyed mine. It was nice. We got to visit with some of the family, not everybody, of course, due to COVID restrictions. But it was good to kind of get back in the swing of things and just sitting down and enjoying a nice weekend, a nice dinner, and stuff like that. Some of my kids were down. We kind of enjoyed that. That was pretty nice. What I wanted to talk about today is battery backups or battery power supplies, pocket powers, whatever you want to call them. There's a million names for them. I'm going to basically just tell you what I use, and I know in a previous video I talked about an item that I carried, which was one of my top 5. After so many times of carrying it and using it on the field, and actually not having it do 100% of what I needed it to, I've decided to move another route. So I'll talk about that in a second. Stick around to the end of the video, and at the end of the video, I'm going to give you some tips to make your battery backups last longer in the field. Stick around for that. Let's hit the trail. Battery backups, power supplies, whatever you want to call them. I just call them battery backups. I know battery backups are the gigantic things you put under a desk and you plug your computer into. I just call that a battery backup. It's small. It's this thing. Something like this. It's got a couple of USB ports on it. You know, you plug it in, charge up your item, whatever you got, it'll charge it up. A long time ago, so a while back, not a long time ago, okay. A while back, I talked about this a lot. This is the Bear 2 solar powered battery backup. It's really nice. It's got the water coverings on all the LEDs. I mean, all the USBs. It's got a little LED light up here at the top that'll turn on. It's got a couple ports on the side, and then a little micro SD charger port here. It's a 10,000 milliamp solar powered battery backup. It's real rugged. It does say that it is waterproof. I've never gotten it completely wet, so don't know. I would be afraid to get it wet just because some of these little panels, these little doors, don't really seal that well. This one here, if it opens up, you're going to get water in there. If water gets in there, you're not going to be able to charge anything. I really don't know what would happen if you plugged a USB port, a USB device into that port when it was wet. Don't know. Don't want to find out. But what I can say is that what you need to look at if you're going to go solar, and first and foremost, I'm a weekend warrior. I go out on a Saturday night, come back on a Sunday morning. I rarely stay more than 2 nights out, and rarely. I would love to in the future. I'd love to have the ability and the time to go out on a longer hike and longer backpacking trips. Right now, it's just a weekend thing. So that being said, I don't need a whole lot of battery charge to keep my devices going. And in the end, I'll give you some tips. Hold on. This thing has a very, very, very slow solar recharge rate. So basically what it does is the amount of sunlight it takes in to recharge the battery in it takes a lot of solar power. And if you're walking through trees, you're going to get power. It's going to show, these lights up here will light up when it hits sunlight. It will show that this is charging. The problem is it's not fully charging. It's not charging to its maximum capacity. So at the end of the day, when you get to where you're going and you're camped out and you're getting all this stuff situated and you're about to plug your phone in, you might only have 4,000 milliamps in this. It's a 10,000 milliamp battery. If you don't have the full 10,000 milliamps, you're not going to charge your device. It just won't happen. I know. I hear you. It's just sound. Have a seat. So he's not bothering. Okay. So it won't charge your device the way you need it to. The other thing is, this is a little bit heavier. This is like 7.4 ounces compared to what I carry now. Hold on, let me get that. This is a very cheap, simple Belkin 10,000 milliamp pocket power. I think I paid $10 for this thing. $10 at Walmart for this. It weighs about 5.5 ounces. It's got dual USB ports in the front here. Now, I've never charged up multiple things. It charges really fast. It doesn't have a solar panel, so it charges really fast with the charge port at the front. You charge this thing up before you leave, 10,000 milliamps on here, you'll be able to do a lot with it. It'll last a lot. Cat's getting into my backpack. He just wants to see what's in there. This, like I said, weighs about 5.5 ounces. So it's lighter than the other one. It's thinner. It's about the same size, honestly. They're not much bigger. So you're looking at about the size of a small cell phone. And they work great. You know, they work really good. So I carry this now. I don't carry this anymore. I've got this set on the side. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Don't even use it. I do use this one. I carry this everywhere I go all the time when I go hiking, backpacking. Sometimes I'll even carry it when my wife and I go out of town on a trip, just to make sure that I have a power source I can charge into. Because if it's not on, it's not draining battery. It's just sitting there. My tips. Okay. So before I go on a trip, whether I'm going hiking, backpacking, whether the wife and I are going out visiting somewhere, I will charge my device 100%. If it's just a trip my wife and I are going and I'm just carrying my cell phone, charge my cell phone 100%. If it's a camping trip, an overnight trip, I'm going to take my light that hangs in the top of my tent. I'm going to take my Kindle, which is very small. I don't really think there's anything else that I have that's rechargeable. There's a couple things I'd like to add to my list later on down the line, but right now those are the main things: my cell phone, my lamp in my tent, and my Kindle. So I charge my lamp in my tent and I charge my Kindle before I leave the house. Those two devices, if I run them for an hour every night, I could probably stay out there a week and never have to charge those two items. Never once. Both of them are off when they're not being used, so the power doesn't drain from them. My cell phone, I do use my cell phone all the time because I use the GPS apps on it. I use Gaia GPS. Love the app. It's great. Not a plug for them. So it's using power as we're going. Plus, I might video with it. I might take pictures with it as we're walking along. And doing all of that, it tends to drain the battery down a lot. Now, one of the benefits of having, and I use DJI Osmo 3 gimbal, that gimbal has a built-in ability to charge your cell phone. So it has a USB port on the side. You can plug your cell phone into it and charge your cell phone while you're videoing. So it's not taking so much of a drain on the battery. So my second tip, when I get to my campsite, I'm setting up dinner and I'm getting my tent all situated, I'm getting ready to start cooking, I immediately plug my phone in. I plug my phone in to this charger and let it charge. The minute it's done charging at 100%, I text my wife and tell her, hey, you know, if I've got service, I text my wife, I tell her, hey, I'm going to sit down and have some dinner. I'll turn it back on before I go to bed and let you know. I turn the phone off to let it relax. I turn my charger off, and then I eat, I have my time, enjoy myself, whatever. When I'm done, I turn my phone back on. Then through the night, my phone will just sit there. It's not being used. The screen's not on. It doesn't do anything. It really barely touches the battery. I think in a nighttime, I can go from 100% to about 95. That's no big deal. So if you allow your phone to charge throughout the night, once your phone hits peak charge, it's going to constantly like drain and then it'll grab more. It's going to drain and grab more. And in that process, you're going to run this down a lot faster than if you just charge it to 100% and unplug it. Don't let this set all night long for 8 hours charging your phone, because this is going to take the hit. Your charger, hey, your phone will have 100% charge in the morning, but your battery backup won't. So with that being said, get you about a 10,000 milliamp battery backup. You can run those for the weekend. I mean, you can get 2 full charges out of one, so you can go for 2 nights if you wanted to. If you're going to go any longer than that, then you might want to start looking at some kind of a solar panel to recharge your battery backup, or spend a little more money out of pocket and get a really good solar charger. But make sure the solar charge rate is faster than the depletion rate of the battery. Make sure that you're charging it more than it's actually taking out, because this one didn't. It's great. I love the features of it. I love the look of it and the aesthetics of it. I just wish it worked better. It just doesn't work that good. So $9, Walmart, 10,000 milliamps. Great for the weekends. I have no issues with it. I don't go out for long hikes, long backpacks, so this is perfect. Hope you like what you saw. I hope any tips. Hey, if you've got any ideas or any other types that you use, solar panels you use, any type of charger that you use on your trips, put them below in the comments. I'd sure love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.